Quote from a local newspaper. The Joy Face killer is still on the look. After several weeks of unsolved murder cases, this killer is still on the loose and carrying out his actions. After some evidence was found, a boy who survived the assassin's attack told what happened to him. "I had a bad dream and woke up in the middle of the night," said the boy. "I saw the window was open, when before I was sure it was locked before going to bed. I wake up and then close it back up and then I go back to sleep. But then I felt a strange feeling, like someone was targeting me. What I saw then made me almost jump out of bed. In the dim light I saw a pair of eyes, these eyes strange, not like usual, dark, and looked cheerful. The eyes are bordered by black. And it really makes me cringe remembering that. It was then that I saw the part of his mouth, a lip that seemed to always smile, a wide smile, even too long and wide. Then he said something. He said, 'Go to sleep,' I screamed. He took a knife trying to stab my heart. He jumped on the bed, I fought him, trying to get him away from me. It was then that my father came into my room. The man who attacked me threw his knife and it hit my father's shoulder. Maybe he would have finished Dad too if one of the neighbors had not called the police. They headed into the parking lot, and ran for the door. The man ran towards the hall. I heard the sound of glass breaking. When I came out of the room, I saw that the window that led to the back of the house was broken. I saw him disappear away. I can tell you one thing, I will never forget that face. That cold face, those evil eyes, and that crazy, crazy smile. All of that will never get out of my mind. Police are still looking for this man. If anyone sees a person with the above description, contact the nearest police station immediately. Jeff and his family recently moved to a new neighborhood. Her father gets a promotion, and they think it would be better if they moved into that expensive neighborhood. Jeff and his brother Lou couldn't protest. Who doesn't love a new and nicer home? While they were packing things, one of their neighbors approached. "Hello," he greeted, "I'm Barbara, I live across the street from your place. Well, I just want to introduce myself and introduce you guys to my son." He turned and called out to his son. "Billy, come here, they are our new neighbors." Billy said hi and went back to playing in his yard. "Well," said Jeff's mother, "my name is Margaret, and this is my husband Peter, and our two sons, Jeff and Lou." They got to know each other, then Barbara invited them to attend her son's birthday party. Jeff and his brother would have refused, but then his mother said they would be happy to come. When Jeff and his family finished cleaning up, Jeff went to his mother. "Mom, why did you invite us to come to a children's party? I'm not a stupid kid, just so you know." Jeff, his mother said, "We just moved. We have to show good manners, good intentions to blend in. We're going to the party, don't argue anymore." Jeff was about to say again, but he didn't. He knew that he wouldn't be able to do that. Anything. When his mother has decided something, then halt will not be changed again. He went to his room and headed for his bed. He sat there and looked at the roof of the room. Suddenly he felt a strange feeling. Not pain, but strange feeling. He thinks it's just an insignificant feeling. He heard his mother calling to pick up his belongings. He came down. The next day, Jeff was walking looking for breakfast, getting ready for school. As he sat down to eat breakfast, he once again felt that strange feeling. But this time stronger. It hurt a little, but then he ignored it. When he and Lou finished their breakfast, then they headed for the bus stop. Suddenly several kids on skateboards jumped towards them, just inches from where they were. Jeff and Lou were shocked. "Hey, what the hell?" The child turned from the skateboard and turned around. He seems to be about a year younger than Jeff, wearing an Aerostyle shirt and blue jeans. Well, looks like we got a new toy." Suddenly, two other kids appeared. One of them was very black while the other was very large. "Well, since you're new here, I'd like to introduce myself, that's Keith." Jeff and Lou looked at the black kid. He has a very annoying face, which makes anyone who sees him want to beat him up. And he is Troy. They turn to the other fat kid. And I'm Randy. Now I have to say that there's a small fee for all the kids here. I hope you guys understand. Lou stood up to beat up this little bastard, but one of his friends then pulled out a knife. Tuck. 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 I hope you guys will be more understanding. But it seems like you prefer to use violence, Ed. The boy walked up to Lou, took his wallet. Jeff then felt it again, this time very strong, burning. He stood up, but Lou signaled him to stay seated. Jeff ignored him and headed for the little bastards. Listen, little bastard. Give me back my brother's wallet. Randy put Lou's wallet in his pocket and took out his own knife. Oh. What are you going to do then? As soon as he finished speaking, Jeff smacked him in the nose. Just as Randy was about to retaliate, Jeff grabbed his wrist and broke it. Randy screamed and Jeff took the knife from his hand. Troy and Keith attacked Jeff, but Jeff is too fast for them. He threw Randy, Troy threw his punch, Jeff ducked and stabbed his hand. Keith dropped the knife and shouted. Troy then steps up, but Jeff doesn't even need a knife to take on this one bastard. He just punched him in the stomach and instantly he collapsed. Lou couldn't say anything, he just looked at Jeff in amazement. Jeff, how are you? That was all he could say. They saw the bus coming and knew that they would be accused of being the culprits. They would have to bear everything that happened, so they ran away from the place. As they were running, they saw the bus driver approaching Randy and his friends. Jeff and Lou arrived at school. They didn't dare say what had happened, they just sat and listened. Lou just thought that Jeff had managed to beat up the delinquent, but Jeff was different. He realized something more than Lou knew. Jeff knew that what he was feeling right now was something scary. When he felt that sensation, he felt how powerful it was, an urge to hurt others. It does sound evil. But Jeff can't deny that he feels good. Happy. He felt that those feelings began to fade while at school. When he got home, his parents asked him how his day was, and he replied cheerfully, today was a beautiful day. The next morning, he heard a knock on his door. He went downstairs to find 2 police officers, and his mother looking at him angrily. Jeff, the cop says you assaulted 3 kids. And it wasn't a normal fight, they were stabbed. They got stabbed, kid. Jeff lowered his head, as if confirming his mother's words. They were the first to point the knife at me and Lou Bulletin. Son, said the cop, we saw 3 kids, 2 stabbed, 1 bruised on the stomach, and we have witnessed you guys running away from the crime scene. What conclusion do you think it leads us to? Jeff knew that all of that was useless. There was no evidence to show who attacked first. Maybe Jeff could say that they didn't actually run away, but the evidence and witnesses say that they did. Jeff was powerless to defend himself and Lou. Call your brother. Jeff couldn't do it, because he was the one who beat them up. Pack police. All that I did. Lou tried to stop me, but he couldn't stop me. The police looked at each other and then nodded. Okay, kid. It seems like... Wait. Lou said. They saw that Lou was holding a knife. These policemen then took their guns and pointed them at Lou. I did it. I was the one who beat up that rascal. I have the proof. He rolled up his sleeves and showed bruises and cuts, as if he had been in a fight before. Son, put down the knife, said the officer. Lou complied. He raised his hand and walked towards the police. No, Lou, it was my doing, everyone. Jeff started to cry. My poor brother. Trying to protect me from the mistakes I've made. All right. Take me. The police then took Lou to the patrol car. Lou, tell them it was me who did it. Say it. Her mother held her shoulder. Jeff, stop lying. We know everything is Lou's doing. You can't stop it. Jeff looked resigned when the police car finally drove off with Lou. A few minutes later, Jeff's father came home and saw Jeff's face. He knew that something was wrong. What's wrong? Jeff couldn't answer that. Then his mother broke the bad news to her husband, and Jeff took off, heading down the street. After about an hour Jeff came home, saw his parents look shocked, sad and disappointed. He is unable to see their situation, because everything is his fault. He just wanted to sleep, trying to forget everything. 2 days passed, no word from Lou at JDC. No friends. Nothing but guilt and sadness. Until one day, Saturday, when Jeff was awakened by his mother with a happy face. "Jeff. Now is the time," he said as he pushed aside the curtains of the bedroom window. "What's with today?" asked Jeff. "Today is Billy's birthday." Jeff really woke up at this time. "Mom, you're not serious, right? You didn't expect me to be going to the kids' party after?" There was a long pause. "Jeff, we both know what happened. I think this party can make you happy again. Now change your clothes." Mrs. Jeff walked out of the room and headed downstairs to get ready. Jeff tried to get up. He put on a t-shirt and jeans, then went downstairs. He saw his mother and father dressed up. He thought, why did they have to wear expensive clothes just to come to a children's party? "Son, you will wear that?" asked his mother. "Better than having to be complicated," he replied. His mother wanted to scold him, but she held it back. "Jeff, maybe we are overdoing it, but this is the way for people to respect us," his father said. Jeff grumbled and returned to his room. "I don't have any nice clothes." Jeff screamed at his parents. "Wear something else," said his mother. He searched through his cupboards, looking for something that looked nice and expensive. Finally he found clothes that he deemed fit. But his parents still seemed dissatisfied with his choice of "you will wear that." His mother glanced at the clock. "There is no time to change clothes, let's go." The peacock left. They crossed the road to Barbara and Billy's house. They knocked on the door and Barbara appeared. Just like her parents, she was over the top. Jeff realized that there were no children, only adults. "The children are in Jeff's backyard. Go and hang out with them," Barbara said. Jeff walked out into a courtyard full of children. They were running around wearing cowboy clothes, and shooting at each other with toy guns. Suddenly a child approached him and gave him a toy gun and a hat. "Hey. Want to play Belen?" he said. "Oh no, kid. I'm too old for that." The boy kept looking at Jeff with a strange face. "Kali Kaja. Please?" asked the child. "Fine," said Jeff. He put on a hat and started acting like he was shooting at the child. At first he felt ridiculous, but over time he enjoyed it too. Maybe it was the first time that could distract him from Lou. But not long ago he heard something that he was familiar with before. And the sound then hit him. Randy, Troy, and Keith jumped off their skateboards. Jeff dropped his toy gun and threw away his hat. Randy looked at him with hatred. "Hello, Jeff," Randy said. "We have something unfinished." Jeff looked at Randy's bruised nose. "I guess it's all worth it. I beat you guys up, but you got my brother sent to JDC. Randy had an angry look in his eyes. "I'm not looking for something to balance, I want to win. Yesterday you beat us up, but not now." Randy attacked Jeff. They rolled on the ground. Randy punched Jeff in the nose, and Jeff grabbed his ear and slammed Randy on the head. Jeff pushed Randy away. The children started screaming and their parents started arriving. Troy and Keith took guns from their pockets. "No one interferes. Threaten them." Randy took the knife and stabbed Jeff in the shoulder. Jeff screamed and fell. Randy then kicked him, but then Jeff pulled Randy's leg. Jeff stood up and tried to leave through the back door, but Troy caught him. "Need help?" He then threw Jeff at the door. When Jeff tried to stand up, Randy came and kicked him until Jeff vomited blood. "Come on, Jeff. Fight me." He picked up Jeff and threw him into the kitchen. Randy took a bottle and smashed it on Jeff's head. "Fight me." Randy then threw it into the living room. "Come on, Jeff, cheer up a little." Jeff looked away, his face filled with blood. "I was the one who caused your brother to be brought to JDC. You should be ashamed, Jeff. I did all that while you were here just dumbfounded like a sissy," mocked Randy. Jeff started to get up. "Finally. You can stand up and fight, huh?" Jeff was standing now, blood and drink mingled down his face. Once again he felt a strange sensation within him, a feeling that had disappeared some time ago. Finally he's awake. Randy taunted Jeff again, then he started pushing back. That's when it all happened. Something inside Jeff exploded. His consciousness and psyche were shattered and torn apart, all sane thoughts were gone, what he felt was an intense desire to kill. He grabbed Randy by the neck and slammed him down. He sat on Randy's body and beat him blindly. The first punch landed right in Randy's heart, resulting in cardiac shock. Randy's heart stopped beating. But Jeff, who was mad, still beat him, venting his anger and lust to kill him. Blood started spurting from Randy's body, until Randy finally died. Everyone looked at Jeff, everyone including Troy and Keith. Then they came out of their shock and started pointing their guns at Jeff. Jeff ran up the stairs, and they started shooting at him, but none of them hit him. Jeff overheard Keith and Troy hunting him. When they ran out of bullets, Jeff headed for the bathroom. He took the towel iron and pulled it from the wall. Troy and Keith began to approach him with drawn knives. Troy swung the knife, but Jeff dodged it, and then slammed the metal pipe from the towel rack into Troy's face. Troy is taken care of, only Keith is left. Keith was more agile, he managed to dodge when Jeff swung his iron pipe. He dropped the knife and grabbed Jeff by the neck. He pushed her against the wall. However, a lotion for bleaching fell and hit them both. They were confused, but Jeff swiftly cleaned his face and grabbed an iron pipe and beat it back to his enemy's head. Keith floundered dying, bathed in blood, but then Keith smiled evilly. "What is so funny?" asked Jeff. Keith took out a lighter and lit it. "The funny thing is, you're covered in bleach and alcohol." Jeff's eyes widened when Keith then threw his lighter at him. The fire immediately flared up all over Jeff's body, the alcohol added to the flames and the bleach made his skin peel off. Jeff screamed in pain. He rolled over to put out the aponica, but to no avail, the alcohol completely burned him. He ran towards the hall and down the stairs. Everyone present started screaming frantically when they saw Jeff. Jeff fell and nearly died. The last thing he saw was his parents and other people trying to extinguish the flames from his body. It wasn't long before he fell unconscious. When Jeff woke up he found his whole body bandaged. He couldn't see anything, he felt pain in his shoulder and aches all over his body. He tried to get up, but then he noticed a tube in his arm. When he got up, the tube fell off, and the nurse rushed to him. "I don't think it's time for you to get out of bed yet," said the nurse. He guided Jeff back to the bed and put the 4 back in. Jeff sat, looking at nothing, not knowing what was around him. After several hours, he finally heard his mother's voice. "Honey. Are you okay?" he asked. Jeff couldn't answer, his face was covered in bandages, and he couldn't speak. "Oh dear, I have good news. After several witnesses confessed that Randy first attacked you, now Lou is free." This almost made Jeff jump for joy, but he remembered the 4 too. "Lou will be out tomorrow, and you two will be together again." Jeff's mother hugged her son and left. A few weeks later Jeff's family came to visit, which is when the bandages all over Jeff's body were scheduled to be removed. When the doctor started to untie the bandages, everyone who was there started to feel tense. They waited until all the bandages were removed, until the moment when the bandages around his head were almost untied. They waited for everyone with extreme tension and worry. "Let's hope for the best," said the doctor. He removed the bandages and showed Jeff's face, which was burnt. Jeff's mother screamed in horror when she saw her son's face. Lou and his father were silent, looking very shocked by Jeff's condition. "What happened to my face?" asked Jeff. He rushed downstairs and headed for the bathroom. He looked in the mirror in the bathroom and saw his face, which now looked broken and strange. His lips were burning so they looked red. The skin on her face had peeled off to reveal a stark white, and her hair had gone from brown to jet black. He slowly touched her face. "It really feels smooth." He looked at his family, then back at his face in the mirror. Jeff said, "Lou, not so bad really." "Not bad?" Jeff said, "It's perfect." The whole family, of course, was very surprised by Jeff's narrative. Jeff started laughing out loud. His family saw that his left eye and hand were twitching. "Here. Jeff, why are you okay?" "Just fine. I've never felt this happy." "Ha ha 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 hey 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 hey. Look at me. This face really describes me." Jeff couldn't stop laughing. What's causing all this? When Jeff fought with Randy, he lost control of himself. His sanity was replaced by lust to kill. Now all that's left of Jeff is a deranged killing machine, but at the time his parents didn't realize that. "Doctor, is my son okay?" "I mean with his mind," said Jeff's mother. "This is all normal. The behavior is identical to that of a patient who has taken too much painkillers. If his behavior does not change in a few weeks, immediately control him again. We will give him a psychiatric test." "Oh, thank you, doctor." Jeff's mother then approached Jeff. "Come on, dear. It's time to go home." Jeff looked away from the mirror, his face still forming a madman's smile. "Yes, ma'am." "Ha ha ha hey 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 hey." His mother hugged Jeff and helped him get dressed. "This has just been delivered," said the woman at the front desk. Jeff's mother saw the clothes that were worn earlier by Jeff. Jeff's mother then ordered her son to put the shirt back on, which was now clean, a black shirt and pants, and they left, not realizing that it was their last day. That night, Jeff's mother was awakened by a sound coming from the bathroom. "Sounds like someone is crying." He slowly walked over to check. When he got to the bathroom, he saw a very terrible sight. Jeff had carved a smile, slicing his cheek with a knife. "What are you doing, Jeff?" asked his mother. Jeff looked at his mother. "I can't stop smiling, Mom. Some moments it hurts. But now I can smile forever." His mother saw Jeff's eyes, black around them. "Jeff, your eyes." Jeff's eyes never seemed to close. "I can't look at my face, I feel tired and my eyes can't close. I burn my eyelids so I can see my face forever, my new face." His mother began to slowly move away from him, realizing that Jeff had gone completely crazy. "Why, Mom? Don't I look stunning?" "Yes, son," he said. "Yes. You are very handsome now. Let Mom go to your dad first, so your dad can see your face too." She ran into the room and woke her husband up. "Take your gun, He stopped when he saw Jeff in front of the door holding a knife. "Mom. You're lying." That was the last sentence they heard. Jeff lunged at them with his knife, and brutally killed them. His brother Lou woke up hearing a commotion outside. But then he didn't hear anything anymore. So he closed his eyes, trying to go back to sleep. As he drifted off to sleep, Lou felt a strange feeling, as if someone was watching him. He looked around, but suddenly Jeff jumped up and covered his mouth. Jeff slowly raised the knife, ready to plunge it into Liu's body. Lou tried to rebel and break away. But then Jeff, with his cheerful face, said, "Go to sleep." For explanation, Jeff the killer is a psychopath, a killer who went mad after his body was burned when he got bullied from other kids. At first the kids who attacked him didn't want to admit that they were the cause of Jeff, and they got into a fight. Jeff was considered to be the culprit, and people started blaming him. But when one of them set Jeff on fire, so he was rushed to the hospital, they finally confessed to all of what he had done. Jeff's face became disfigured. The skin on his face peeled white, and it is said that he burned his own eyelids. Another version says that Jeff sliced them, so that his eyes were always open, and he felt always awake. Apart from that, he also sliced his own cheeks, carved his face so that he always seemed to smile. After the murder of his family, which is believed to be Jeff's doing, he runs away and roams at night targeting his victims. Jeff's characteristic: before killing his victims he will always say "go to sleep" with his joyful face. Jeff is still out there, killing everyone. He comes into your bedroom one night, covers your mouth, and then tries to calm you down, before sticking his knife in your heart.